Class 4 Social Science. Today we will be dealing with the topic Rights and Duties, that is Block 6. You can take out your textbook and go along with me. The contents are fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and rights of a child. The first subtopic is fundamental rights. What are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are defined as the basic human rights of all citizens. So in simple, we can understand fundamental rights are those things that we are free to do. Why do we need rights? We need rights because if we don't have rights, it would be like living in a cage, right? Where we would be controlled by others and we will not be able to do what we want to do. So as a citizen of India, there are certain rights that we can enjoy. Those rights are fundamental rights. It's clearly mentioned in your textbook, so let me read aloud. The first point is, we cannot be unfair to people because they are male or female, rich or poor, or follow a certain religion. We should treat everyone equally. The next one, we can go where we want within our country. We can say what we think is right. We can do any work that does not harm others. Next, we can worship any god. We can follow any religion we want to. Next, we cannot force anyone to work. We cannot make children below 14 years to work in factories or other places. Next, we can write and speak any language. We can preserve our language, folk dances, and music. The last point, we can take the help of the court if somebody stops us from using our fundamental rights. So these are the fundamental rights that we can enjoy as a citizen of India. The next one, fundamental duties. Fundamental duties are defined as the moral obligations of all citizens to help promote a spirit of patriotism and to uphold the unity of India. So we have certain duties at home, right? Say like we need to study, keep our room clean, obey our parents, and so on. So just like that, being a citizen of India, there are certain duties that we have to perform. Those are fundamental duties. It's mentioned in your textbook, so let me read aloud. The first point, we must respect our national flag, national anthem, and national symbols. Next, we must obey the constitution. Next, we must stay united in the country. Next, we must protect our country in times of war. Next, we must remember the people who fought for our country. Next, we must respect and love one another, even if we belong to different religions or regions. We must respect girls and women. Next, we must protect wildlife and our environment. And the last one, we must protect public transport and historical buildings from any damage. These are the fundamental duties that we need to perform as a citizen of India. Why do we have to perform these duties is that if only we have rights and no duties, then we would do anything that we want to do, right, without thinking about how it would affect others. For example, if we are given the right to play loud music, then it is also our duty to make sure that we don't disturb anyone. So from this example, we learn that these fundamental rights and fundamental duties, they go hand in hand. Or these fundamental duties and these fundamental rights should always go together. The last one, rights of a child. These rights of a child, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, that is the UNCRC, has defined child rights as the minimum entitlement and freedom that should be afforded to every citizen below the age of 18, regardless of race, national origin, color, gender, language, religion, opinion, wealth, birth status, disability, or other characteristic. So in simple, we can understand rights of a child means where every child is free to enjoy certain rights up to some extent. Here in your textbook, we find about a girl called Aditi, who is 10 years old, where she performs certain duties in school and at home. Those are: she goes to school on time, does her homework, and behaves well with her classmates. She respects her elders, takes care of her younger brother, and helps her parents at home. So these are the duties that she performs at school and at home. And as I've mentioned earlier, that rights and duties go hand in hand. So there are some rights that every child should enjoy, and those are follows. Let me read the first one. Every child is free to go to school to study. Next, every child must eat healthy food. Next, every child must get medical care to stay healthy. Next, every child must be protected from all kinds of danger. Next, every child is free to belong to the country they are born in and have a name of their own. Next, every child is free to ask questions in order to know something. So these are the rights given to a child. But in spite of all these rights, in cities, we find many children who are forced to do things that they should not be doing, say, like working in a factory, or where some of them don't get proper food and water or have a house to live in. So, for, for this kind of children, there are some organizations that look after this kind of children. But it is also our duty. We should remember that it is also our duty to show our love, our support, and care for these children who who have no one to look after them. So this is all about rights and duties. Thank you.